Welcome to the podcast that passes poor performance on pop culture. I'm one of your hosts, Darren Duncan, alongside with my best friend, Audie Marsh. We're just a couple of cool cats casually causing some chaos with conversation. We're here to entertain you, not hurt your feelings, so don't blame us. Not hurt your feelings. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up with stepdads. Because a stepdad will probably kill you with blunt force trauma and hog tie you and throw your dead body in a creek. Is that how that Waylon Jennings song goes?
Yeah, absolutely. I think David Allan Coe helped him write it.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking sure that's what happened. So I want to apologize right out the gate to all of our listeners about last week. Your boy's a shithead. I can't, there's no denying it. When I fucking work all week, 12-hour shifts, and when I get home Friday morning, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna drink a few beers. Well, I can't just drink a few beers. Once I start, man, I don't stop, and I'm off to the fucking races. And before I know it, it's 9 p.m. and I've been up for fucking 20 fucking something hours, and I'm like, just like, dude, I can't do it. This happens time and time again. I am worse than some of our ghosts or some of our guest ghosts, our guests that have ghosted us in the past.
Yeah,
I fucking apologize.
I'm the same way when like I work mids. I get the weekend off, and then it's gonna be like on a Friday, and I'm like, I am not fucking sleeping this whole Friday because I'm off. And by like Saturday, I'm like dead, and I sleep all fucking day, and I ruin the whole Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I do a lot. Like when dude, I'm having a blast Friday. I'm drinking 20 something hours straight, having fucking fun, and then Saturday I'm dead to the world, and then Sunday I'm still dead to the world. And for selfish reasons, I ruined the whole weekend with my family. We didn't get to fucking, like they still hung out and shit, but I feel like a jerk off because I wasn't there watching movies and shit,
Yeah.
But whatever, man. Fuck me. Tonight's episode is about West Memphis 3. This has been a long time coming, even though we're only like 20 episodes in, but this is a topic that I've always wanted to touch base on. I might be all over the place, just like the Charles Manson episode, because I don't have a script, I don't have notes, and I did all my research last week.
And I forgot.
Right. But I do have years of experience of going, I've read Damien Echols' books. I own the documentary West Memphis 3 or West of Memphis. I've watched YouTube shit, so we'll see how well I do. So how familiar are you with the West Memphis 3?
So I heard about it growing up. And once again, I'm weird, dude. When it comes to things that's happened throughout my life, like the Heaven's Gate, tragic events. Now, the O.J. Simpson, I watched that, the whole trial, I watched that when I was a kid. But like certain things, tragic events that happen throughout American history, I hear about it and I never go back until I've gotten older. And here recently, even especially since you and I started this podcast, there's certain things that I have gone back and I do some of my research and some Googling. Google is my best friend, and YouTube. So what little bit I know, I've just recently did a little bit of research. I got my opinions on it. I think with what little bit I got, I mean, maybe I can bring a little something to the table. But I heard about it, but I never dug deep into it like you have. And I think I regret a lot of things not researching shit as I was growing up, and I didn't have people telling me, and until fucking Google came out, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna Google this, and I'm gonna fucking act like I knew everything about it.
Hell yeah. No, that's a great way to learn shit.
Yeah.
So you're familiar with the case from back in the day then, from the 90s?
So I like when I say familiar, I do recall people talking about it. I do recall it flashing up on, TV, because back in the day, early 90s, television was scripted. You watched Good Morning America, and then throughout the day it was soap operas, and then midday was like uh Tool Time with Tim Allen, and then you had your big news, and then you had all your night shows. And it seemed like during those news times is when they would like talk about shit that was more important than just politics. I don't remember a lot of politics on TV. It was tragic events. Like what news should really fucking report? Like tragic fucking events that's, going around and that's what I remember. I remember uh its story coming up. I think Dateline or somebody uh talking about it and interviews with the family. I do recall um something of it being mentioned, but until I gotten older, Google, YouTube, I'm like, "Oh shit." And then finding out a couple of things here recently I fucking don't agree with, but we'll get into
I,
that.
I don't remember a fucking thing about these guys from the 90s or even like early 2000s. Like I heard about all this shit way after the fact. After I don't want to say what in case for people who don't know, but like way after the end result of what happened
Yeah.
recently. Like that's when I heard about it. I heard about this shit over fucking 15 years ago. Like
Yeah. I
this girl I dated was like obsessed with Damien Echols, and I had no fucking clue who he was. And she had the Paradise Lost documentaries recorded on VHS. She recorded from HBO, and then when I got older, I went and bought Damien Echols' book, Life After Death. He wrote this when he was on death row. And then I also have the documentary West of Memphis, which is fucking really good. It's like 4 hours long, but it's everything from day one up to today. And fucking Peter Jackson made it. The guy who made Lord of the Rings
hmm,
made the West Memphis fucking documentary. He
wow.
put like millions and millions of dollars into this case, dude. Like
Really?
to help fight for the West Memphis 3. Yeah.
No
A lot
shit.
a lot of people came to be on West Memphis Three's side. We'll talk about it. For those that don't know, so I just wanted to mention our sources is like Wikipedia, obviously, Damien Echols' book, Life After Death. He's got a few books, go get them, and West of Memphis documentary. You can also check out the Paradise Lost documentaries. All three of them are on HBO Max, and they're only like 2 hours long. So go check them out. Um, but for those who don't know, the West Memphis Three are three men convicted as teenagers in 1994 for the 1993 murders of three boys in West Memphis, Arkansas. Damien Echols was sentenced to death. Jeese Misskelly was sentenced to life, plus 20 years, two 20-year sentences, and Jason Baldwin, life in prison. So what basically fucking happened was these three little boys, god damn it, Stephen Branch, Christopher Byers, and Michael Moore were basically like riding their bicycle in their fucking town, West Memphis. It was like a fucking trailer park basically, and they fucking went missing, and nobody knew what the fuck was going on, and yeah, they just never came home that night, and there was this wooded area at the end of this road. They called it what's the character from fucking Winnie the Pooh? Christopher Robin.
Yeah.
I think they called it like Christopher Robin Woods or some shit. And all the fucking neighborhood kids would play back there. And there's like a little creek and shit and a little bridge, and just that's where they fucking went to play. I'm pretty sure they were like last seen in that area. Well, I think it was like the next day or a couple days later, they or like I think it was that night or something, the cops go out, they're looking in the woods, and the mosquitoes were so fucking thick that they called off the search. They're like, we'll come back in the daytime when there's no mosquitoes and shit. So could you imagine being that parent? Like, no, go look for them,
Dude.
like, but
Yeah.
they must have
Ugh.
been really, really bad for fucking tough guy cops, Southern cops, to not want to deal with them. But they must have been really bad, I'm guessing. And you can get sick from that shit,
Yeah,
so
you could die from that. It's like
yeah,
one of the number one killers. I get it. Yeah.
right. Like I went fishing. The only thing I caught was West Nile. Yeah.
God damn.
Anyway,
That's a T-shirt.
for sure, dude. I fucking love it. Or you know those like shirts that are like, I went to Vegas and all I got was this lousy T-shirt. It'd be like,
Yeah.
I went to West Memphis and all I got was prosecuted for murder and fucking West Nile. Fuck, I don't know. So the next day they went out and they found a shoe floating in the creek, a little kid shoe. And there's two sides to this story. Some say that immediately this detective jumped right in the creek. Some say that he was like reaching for the shoe, slipped in the mud, and fell into the creek. Either way, the guy ended up in the fucking creek. He starts combing the creek floor with his hands, crawling on all fours, and he bumps into something. And slowly, an 8-year-old's body, naked body, rises to the fucking surface, dude. And he's hogtied with shoelaces. His right arm was tied to his left leg, and his left leg was tied to his right arm, which is like not
Like
a way.
hog-tied kinda?
Yeah, but it was like an unconventional way to hog tie. Like that's not really
Yeah,
how you
like
do it. But
yeah.
they also say that that was how like Vietnam soldiers hog tied them, I
No, I
guess.
don't know.
So one of their first thoughts was like, we got to look for people. One of their first fucking people they thought did it was a Vietnam vet missing his penis. That was the profile that they made because well, because the boy's genitalia was mutilated
Yeah.
and like the tips of their nose were missing, their ears were missing, like the boys were mutilated. And they were like, "Oh, I bet it was a Vietnam vet because he knew how to tie rope like this, and I bet he got his dick shot off in Vietnam, and that's why he's out fucking chopping off little boys' wee wees." I'm like, "You fucking hillbillies, man! Like these fucking guys
Fucking
are crazy."
Arkansas.
Yeah, right. A fucking Bill Clinton's from there.
Yeah.
You know, like, he was the governor and shit, and then he became the fucking president. Um, anyway, that's a whole nother episode. Um, so they start fucking going down farther, and they find all three boys. They rest their dead bodies on the fucking bank, and like the footage of that is fucking nightmare fuel, dude. Just the way the flies are on them, and they're just so stiff, like their legs are in the air. It's an image I can't get out of my fucking head, and
Mhm.
it's burned in my brain forever. Though the image of those three dead bodies like live behind my eyeballs. It fucking sucks. That's the life of a podcaster, though. You got to research shit that you don't fucking want to see. Um, but anyway, they also found sticks sticking in the mud, and they pulled up these sticks. Like, what the fuck? And whoever used the sticks to pin down the clothing. So they like put the clothing, grabbed a stick, and pushed it down into the mud. That way the fucking clothes wouldn't float and shit. They found all three of their bicycles, and it's reported that one of the first things said by these detectives was, I guess Damien finally went and killed somebody or something along those lines, because there was this one goth kid in town, Damien Echols. He had black hair, he wore black clothes, he had a black trench coat, and in this Southern fucking Baptist trailer park, that was just not fucking okay. He was the only fucking kid that looked like that, you know? He had a friend, Jason Baldwin. He had a sick fucking mullet. It was the fucking most righteous mullet I've ever seen in my life. And he wore Metallica shirts and shit. And like, but dude, they also listen to like Queen and fucking U2. Like, that's that band, right? U2.
Yeah.
Yeah, those fucking guys. Like, so they weren't like devil worshippers or nothing. They were just fucking goth kids in the fucking 90s. But they instantly thought it was these fucking assholes. So they start asking around. The cops start asking people and shit, and then they fucking this Damien Echols kid was already on probation, and this guy's probation had a fucking hard on for like Damien. Like he just thought that he was the most evil fucking kid ever. and Satanism, like the devil was live and well, and he lived in West Memphis, and he was just this fucking weirdo dude. He'd drive around and stalk teenagers and like thinking that they're all in the satanic cult and they're all fucking crazy and doing bad shit. He was just out of his fucking mind, dude. I forgot his fucking name. Terry Driver, I think was his name. Fuck him. And they eventually like went up to Damien and Jason Baldwin, like in Damien's front yard, and was like, "Hey, so can we talk to you about the murders?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure. What do you want?" And he's like, what kind of person do you think would do this? And they're just asking him stupid questions. Like, first of all, do not talk to cops if you don't have a fucking lawyer. If you if you think that they're questioning you about something that you did and you didn't do it, get a fucking lawyer. That's my advice. Say, fuck you, I want a lawyer. But this was like early 90s and everybody's taught police are good. There are no bad cops. They're all good. And we can right. Like we know now that there's every job in the world, they have good performers and bad performers. Like everybody's got a shithead at work that fucking sucks at their job, you know? But so they trusted these police officers, but Damien, he also trusted like the judicial system. And like he's like, I didn't do it, so I'm not gonna go to fucking jail for this. So, but he was being a cocky little arrogant, stupid goth fucking white boy teenager giving smart aleck answers like, oh, I bet that it was a thrust or it was a thrill kill and he gave him power, and I'd look for candles and crystals and all. He's just saying stupid shit that a fucking teenager would say. Me, for example, one reason why I'm so into this case is because this could have fucking been me. I was the fucking dumb kid in Belvedere with a trench coat that wore Manson shirts, and I smeared mascara on my face, and I would say stupid shit like "Hail Satan." And in fucking high school, I had this giant coat, and I walked down the hallways after school like there was like nobody there really. And I just hung out to walk around the hallways and be an asshole. And I would sing, "Mass murder makes me happy. Dead bodies make me happy." I sang that shit because it was a Dark Lotus song. And it was the stupidest fucking thing ever. And that could have been me. And also in night school, like, you know, your first day of school, it's the get to know you thing. And they're like, what's your favorite movie and all that shit. They asked me who my idol was, who my role model was in freshman year, and I'm like, Jack the Ripper. And they're like, why? I'm like, because he got away with murder. And then the girl was like, what would your parents think about this? I was like, I killed my parents. And I got kicked out of school, and I got sent for a mental evaluation, and I got kicked out of school for a long time. They let me back in. I would smear mascara on me, and I remember the principal being like, is it significant for anything? I'm like, nope, just want to look pretty. And I was just an asshole. So that's what these kids were. But they did it in the early 90s during the satanic panic in a fucking southern town. So that's why they got fucking, you know. But anyway, I totally went off on a tangent, but that's okay. There's going to be a lot of these. Feel free to interrupt me at any moment. So they're just fucking being assholes. And eventually they did get arrested. Like Damien Echols fucking parole officer like followed this guy to like Oregon State. Like his family fucking moved, dude. And to get away from all this bullshit. And then the fucking probation officer would like call the police department like in Oregon and be like, you guys need to look out for this Damien Echols kid. He's a fucking devil worshiper and all this shit. Damien hated that town. He moved back to West Memphis, and the day he got off the bus, at the bus stop was his fucking probation officer there to fucking harass him, dude. And they eventually, so this is how they all got arrested. The other motherfucker, Jeese Misskelly, was straight up mentally retarded. Like he was a very, very dumb kid.
Yeah.
And he didn't even know these other two guys. Like he knew who they were because they lived in the same town, but they weren't fucking friends or anything. But anyway, there's like a $30,000 reward. And everybody, like $30,000 is a lot of money even today, but in the 90s, especially to fucking anyone who lives in a trailer park, like this money could change their fucking lives. So everybody's out to fucking point fingers and to say, I know who did it, because they want that fucking 30 grand.
Mhm.
Well, I think it was like something along the lines of like, I forget how Jeese Misskelly got involved, but he ended up getting questioned. He got questioned for 12 fucking hours without a lawyer, without mom and dad there or anybody there. And they'd move him to a smaller room and then a smaller room. And like, this kid didn't even know who Satan was. He was so fucking dumb. And the cops like drew a picture, like a circle with like 3 dots in it, and then like a bunch of dots on the outside. And they're like, this is you and Damien and Jason. This is the police on the outside of the circle. Do you want to be in the circle with them or on the outside with us? Like, that's how dumb this kid was. That's how they had to explain shit to him. He didn't know what a lawyer was. He assumed that a lawyer was another cop when he eventually did get a lawyer. But for 12 hours, they interrogated this kid. Then, after he confessed, they turned on the tape and then they recorded it. Now, the way that interrogation went, even the recorded one, they fucking spoon fed him details. They're like, all right, so when did you kill these boys? Oh, it was around noon. No, it wasn't at noon. He's like, because the boys were in school that day. And then the Jeese Misskelly's guy's like, well, I think they skipped school. And they're like, no, God damn it. They were in school that day. We know this. What time did you murder these boys? Oh, around 3 or 4. No, God damn it. It was dark out. It was dark out, wasn't it? Yeah, it was dark out. All right, now let's go through this again. What time did you murder these boys? Around 7 or 8. He's like, all right, see, now we're getting somewhere. That's how this whole fucking interrogation went, dude. And like the tape, it's fucked up. They mistreated this poor little bastard. And they kept telling him, if you tell us what we want to hear, Jesse, we'll let you go home. We'll call your dad. He'll come get you. And he told this whole story that the cops spoon fed him, and then they fucking arrested him. And then they went out and they busted fucking Jason and Damien too and arrested them. Now, the whole time, they did separate trials too, because they wanted Damien Echols to be the fucking ringmaster of the whole thing. But they knew that if they put them all 3 on trial, they wouldn't get, they didn't have a good chance of winning. And then they also know if they separate them, there might be a chance of some of them getting away. So what they did is Jeese Misskelly had his own trial, and then Damien and Jason fucking had a trial together. So like automatically Jason was guilty by association because he was friends with the fucking black-haired kid. And eventually, like, the fucking people that were called in to this fucking court were all idiots, dude. Like, the fucking genius on the occult and satanic cults and rituals and shit got his fucking degree online. Like, but this is before the internet. It was like through the mail. So they're like, what college did you graduate from? And he's like, and they're like, what? What? Speak up. And he's like, it was a through the mail degree. It's like, what? But this is the fucking genius that we're using. And then these kids had like lines like drawn down their fucking flesh. Like their scars were in like parallel lines. And you know, like a blade, like the Rambo knife has that serrated edge on the back of it.
Yeah.
This fucking genius, like even the coroner was a fucking idiot in this town. They're like, all right, dude, Audie, if you wanted to cut an animal or a person or whatever and you have a fucking knife, how are you going to cut this person? Explain to me. Show me on your fucking arm how you would cut someone.
Like where I'd start?
No, like how would you use the knife? This is the knife.
Yeah, I'd fucking use the goddamn blade, fucking push it in and down.
And you'd go fucking like vertically.
Like,
right? Yeah, with the blade. They're saying that the way these marks came on these kids, they were just scratches. They weren't like wounds.
Yeah.
Said they took the serrated edge of the knife and like and cut them that way horizontally. And like nobody uses a god, not even a retard like fucking Jeese Misskelly. No offense, Jesse, and all to the fucking R words around the world. Fuck, I'm gonna get canceled. God damn it. They fucking our Patreon is anyway,
Yeah.
fucking so like even a guy like that knows how to fucking use a knife. You know, all these people are fucking ignorant, man. They're just stupid. And I don't know. I'm trying to like do the whole court thing, and it's just like everybody they got on the stand were jerk offs. A lot of people lied because, like I said, they wanted that
Yeah.
$30,000. Like two people came forward today and are just like so apologetic. Like, I'm so sorry I fucking lied. Like, the one kid was like, I told the cops that I fucking took acid every day. He just got out of juvenile, and the only thing he knew about the case was that there was like a counselor, like he overheard like counselors in the juvenile center talking about it. So when he got out, he's like, I know about the case. I know Damien did it. And then he was on the fucking stand and he talked like a fucking typical dumb teenager, like he cut off his penis, and then it was like Beavis and Butthead, and then
Yeah.
and then he like took his balls and he put his balls in his mouth, like that's how he talked, dude, on the stand. Like what the fuck is wrong with this idiot? But he came forward years later and was like, I apologize, I'm a fucking dumb fuck, I shouldn't have done that. And then the way they all got arrested, like this other lady fucking lied. So this fucking bitch in her 30s had kids, and Jeese Misskelly, the really dumb one, fucking babysat for her.
No.
She was a waitress. Yeah, so like she's talking to the cops like, "Hey, I could do some investigating and I'll play detective." And the cops was like, "Take these fucking devil books and some black candles and put them around your house and invite Damien over and try to talk to him about the devil and shit." So it's like, so what? When Damien comes over, it's like, oh, excuse me, let me move this pile of satanic ritual books. Like, fucking stupid. So anyway, she tells Jesse, like, hey, do you know that Damien kid? He's like, yeah, I kind of know him. Well, I think he's cute and I want to talk to him. Okay. So he tells Damien, hey man, this fuck, and what 18-year-old would be like, what? This 30-year-old girl wants to bang me? Let's go, you know? Unless she's from West Memphis. She probably don't have any fucking teeth and shit. But anyway, so they just talked, and then this fucking lady went to the cops and was like, "Oh man, me and Damien got drunk on wild turkey, and he took me to this spot, which is like a fucking word for like a satanic gathering." And they all got naked and were doing orgies and killing dogs and shit. And I left. I left. I didn't want nothing to do with it. I left. And it's like, they're like, for real? The cops are like, holy shit. Like, this is crazy. They believed it. And then this fucking cunt, she fucking had Jeese Misskelly spend the night. She's like, hey, somebody tried breaking into my house last night. I really need a man here. Will you spend the night? He's like, yeah, sure. So he slept on the couch, not knowing that that would be his last fucking free moments ever, because the cops fucking knocked on the door that morning and arrested him because they knew where he was. She fucking set him up. And this was his friend. He's a little retard boy, you know, like that fucking
Damn.
babysat her kids, dude. She's fucking set him up. And so they get arrested. So that's why I went back on that, because she came forward years later and was like, I'm so sorry that I fucking lied about you guys. I just, that $30,000 would have changed my life. And I don't think anybody got the goddamn money.
Yeah, I
That's
was about
not
to say,
how that's
did
not
anybody
how
get the money?
America works. You gotta work to be broke, motherfucker.
Wow.
Anyway, so all right, we're a half hour in, because I'm just like, I don't know if I can talk about this for an hour. I'm trying to fucking drag it on and shit.
No, I wanted to play some clips.
Oh, please do.
Uh,
Just remind me where we stopped. So they got arrested, and people lied, and we'll go from there. Please play whatever you want, as long as there's no spoilers.
so this is no, it's not any spoilers. I'm trying to find the part. Um, I did some research on the family members, the boys' family members, the ones
Uh,
that were killed,
okay.
and the one that stood out to me the most was Pam Hobbs. which was Stevie Branch's
Yeah, that cute little fucker.
mother.
Yep.
So let me find the clip, and I want to show you. Let's see. There's so much going on in this thing, and I will show
We
you.
got to start going live on Facebook because there's like no people, there's nobody here commenting, and usually we have tons and tons of comments. But
We're live on. We're live.
on Facebook,
Yeah, we're live in the Facebook page, the 2 YouTubes, and Twitch. I can't access
oh
yours. I can't put yours on there.
yeah, I'll give you the password. I forgot to give you that. I forgot to
Uh,
share the motherfucker.
but no, we got the Facebook group. It's live in there. I mean,
God damn it!
you know.
I shared the wrong one. I shared the YouTube link because I didn't know we were live on the Facebook page. But yeah, so Pam Hobbs was Stevie Branch's mother,
Yep.
and do you got
Wow.
what you're gonna
I,
play ready to
yeah,
go or?
yeah. I'm letting it buffer through, but dude, let me see here. We'll do this. I'll bring it up. Yeah. Fucking crazy, dude.
I remember the just the footage alone of her hearing the news. Everyone's standing in the street like because they're like, oh, we found bodies, and like you fucking know it's them. You know, everyone's got to know that. And when she got told it, she just collapsed in the middle of the street. And her fucking husband at the time is trying to hold her up with one arm. Guess what was in his other hand? A goddamn cigarette. He was more worried about his fucking cigarette than his collapsed wife, who just found out her 8-year-old boy got fucking murdered.
Jesus.
Fuck you, Terry Hobbs. I'm coming for you. I think that piece of shit has a YouTube channel too. We need to fucking roast him. All right, let's go.
All right. So this is. Let's see. Play this motherfucker.
The mother of Stevie Branch.
God. On TV.
Now, Pam, first of all, what are you holding in your hand?
In my hand, it's Davey's Boy Scout. I got it back yesterday, and I've been wearing it around my head like this.
Did he like scouting?
Oh, he loved it. He loved it. Yeah. He loved it.
You been yourself for this?
I have. I have been on a guilt trip about it, but it wasn't my fault. I was at work.
Have you contemplated joining Stevie for your natural? Have you thought about suicide?
Have I? Suicide. I felt like dying, but not suicide. No, not suicide.
Do you feel that the people that did this were worshiping
Satan? Yes.
Okay.
Wow, what journalism! So you ever feel
First
like
of
killing
all-
yourself? You're live, by the way, on national television.
Hey, your son is dead. Did you think about killing yourself?
Yeah, but like
This
he
whole
was
town
so
is fucking.
dude, right? But he was all
Wow.
subtle about it at first. You ever feel
Yeah,
like
like,
joining
You ever
him?
just Pam, killing yourself?
Like
Then
handing
this
her a
dumb bitch is
razor
like,
blade and shit.
she's like, she's like, I'm on TV, and then the pans, and she's like, yeah, yeah, I don't he kill himself, It's like,
I
don't
right.
know,
I don't want to victim blame, but it's like
dude, I'm not either. But
when you lose a kid, it's got to be the most craziest fucked up thing. And she's probably pumped full of medication right now. Like she's out of her
yeah,
fucking mind. And
oh
maybe
no,
coping with it is trying to be funny. Like I'm on TV, trying to be funny. But like I don't know. That's fucking
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah,
It's dumb.
like that. I don't know. I don't. If I was something ever bad happened, first of all, I'm never going on fucking TV. Period. Like,
No, fuck that.
I'm not interviewing nobody. You're not gonna fucking talk to me. Like, it's not happening. All right. And then I'm not gonna do what she did. Look goofy. I don't know. Different times, man. But no, I
Yeah,
agree. She's
for
probably
sure.
high on fucking cocaine and
She's probably pumped full of medication from her doctor. Like, I bet the doctors gave her fucking all kinds of shit to deal with this, and
Well, it's like, well, I was at work. It ain't my fault.
yeah, that was
What?
kind of, I mean, I get it, but I mean, when
Yeah,
I'm at work, I know where my kids are,
absolutely.
but different times, like you said, and like people get so mad when we say this, but those are people who don't understand, people who don't grow up in the 90s or people who grew up in the fucking 50s. Like, hey man, it was a different time. That's how we talked. Doesn't mean it's not wrong, but back then it was more accepted, you know? You
No,
know
I
what
get
I
it.
mean? Like the way
No,
people
yeah,
talk,
yeah.
how racist people were and shit. I'm not, and in the 90s, it was just like fucking, it was a different time, man.
Yeah.
Kids were getting kidnapped left and right, dude, in the
Yeah,
90s.
it was like free candy vans everywhere.
Dude, every fucking block
Every
had a
fucking
white
where.
fucking windowless van.
Like, like the subject in school of a block of instruction for an hour, at least once a week was don't take don't take candy
Yeah,
from strangers.
yeah,
Don't talk to strangers.
yep,
And they all
yeah,
focused on males. They're like,
yep,
it's the males, I was like, God damn. Oh
yeah.
shit.
Bunch of fucking white dudes out
God,
snatching
yeah.
up kids in the 90s and killing them, dumping them
Mhm.
into fucking creeks and shit.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to show or talk
Uh
about? Or
that one there just stuck out to me. I got halfway through it. Let's see. Jesse
you should just
Jesse
bring up pictures of how hillbilly these people are. They're just so fucking mad.
let's see. Uh that
Terry
like
Hobbs is a fucking scumbag, dude.
like
The
this
stepdad.
right here was muted on YouTube. Hit this guy's interview.
Yeah, this guy is a fucking maniac. But all right, first of all, he's an
Yeah, they
informant for
muted
the
it.
police.
You-
This dude is an informant for the police. All this shit can be seen on the Paradise Lost documentaries on HBO Max. And I'm so fucking happy that they're on there because they got played on HBO in the 90s and like that was it, man. And nobody had fucking HBO in the 90s. Only the rich families had HBO and stars
Mhm.
and shit. You know what I mean? That wasn't a household fucking thing. So not
No,
everybody
yeah.
had it. So I'm so glad that these things are on HBO. But this dude's a fucking wild man. But all right, first of all, he's a drug dealer. I mean, some of my best friends sell drugs. Who cares? He's an informant for the police. That's fucked up. But this dude has tons and tons of mental issues. He's on so many different kinds of medication. And in these documentaries, he lists off the medications that he's on, and it is an absurd amount. No one should be on that many kind of medicines, dude. But again, it was different times. He also has a brain tumor. I'm sure that doesn't fucking help any. He's a redneck from West fucking Memphis. That doesn't help any. But no, this dude was out of his mind. And like the directors were like super one-sided in this. And they would like encourage him to get him drunk and like just kind of spoon feed him shit to say and then piss him off, and he made an ass of himself. And he in the future was like, I really regret making those goddamn documentaries because I fucking made myself look like an idiot.
Maybe that's why they muted him.
I don't, unless he got it muted somehow.
I bet he did. I bet he copyrighted their asses.
Something, yeah. Or maybe because it was Paradise Lost documentary and HBO fucking muted it. And then like, see what you just played of the mom was like on the news. So maybe they don't own that or something. I don't know.
Could be.
But he blamed Terry Hobbs, the stepdad, and like right in front of the courthouse, he's like, "There's your goddamn baby killer." And they're like, "Oh, don't say that." And he's like, "It's my Second Amendment right." I hate when people say that shit. Or no, First Amendment. He's like, "It's my First Amendment right."
You
like,
know what?
You can say whatever you want, but it doesn't mean you're not an asshole.
So like, since you said that, I didn't see that part, but I'm gonna say, in my opinion, I think Pam Hobbs. I think something my police, my investigative instinct. I caught a vibe when I watched that interview with Pam Hobbs. I caught a
I would
nervous.
fire you if I was your mom.
I caught a nervous fucking vibe.
Really? The mom.
Drugs are not, man. Like something stood out when she
She
did
has an
that
alibi,
interview.
though. She was at work.
Well, I'm saying somebody,
She knows.
this guy right here.
That's Michael Byers' stepdad.
But I'm
Or
saying
Michael Moore. That's Michael Moore's stepdad.
I think I don't know, man. I think the Hobbs bitch knows something.
Yeah, that's Michael Moore's stepdad, I believe, unless it's Christopher Byers' stepdad. I'm not sure. All right, so we'll get into theories lastly. After all right, so it was also found out that there was you guys got Bojangles restaurant or something like that?
I've been to them, but
Okay.
not over here. But I know what you're talking
So
about.
at the same fucking time that these 3 little boys were missing. All right, first of all, West Memphis is only a bridge away from Memphis. Real Memphis. Where there's fucking highways and shit. It's not a fucking trailer park. This big truck stop is right next to the woods where these little boys' bodies were found. So anyone could have done this, if you think about it that way. A fucking truck stop, there's men from all over the country stopping at this place. And then they get on the highway and they're gone in minutes, never to be seen again. Now, it was reported by the fucking police. This is real fucking life shit. When the kids were reported missing, there was also a call to the Jangles restaurant of a black man coming in covered in fucking blood. He runs to the bathroom, he cleans up, he leaves blood every fucking where, and he fucking dips. The fucking female cop showed up like hours later, didn't even go inside the building. She pulls up to the fucking drive-through window and was like, "What's going on? We got a call about a black guy covered in blood." They're like, "Well, he's fucking gone now." And they sent somebody to come and collect DNA evidence from the blood. That shit went missing. It's gone. It never saw its day in court. The evidence, the blood sample never saw its day in court. They fucking lost it. This is real shit. This really fucking happened. So there's one fucking guy who, dude, that's huge. That motherfucker probably did it. But a lot of people think Terry Hobbs did it too. The stepdad of Stevie Branch. It's like the angry fucking stepdad fucking hates his fucking kid, whatever, and his little fucking bastard friends. I'm thinking he fucking hit this kid. They all died of blunt force trauma. I'm thinking he fucking smacked his kid too hard, killed him. His 2 friends saw it, and he had to fucking tie his loose ends, and he killed all 3 of those boys and dumped them in the fucking creek. Terry Hobbs' friend, he breaks down and he cries. All right. So Terry Hobbs tries to make an alibi by saying, "Oh, there was also an African-American hair found on the scene. And there was also like fabric from like Terry Hobbs found in the shoelaces." But they're saying that it was like cross-contaminated or whatever. Well, they all hung out at his house. Of course there's going to be fucking similar fabrics and hairs and shit. But so that's what their fucking story is. But anyway, his friend, Terry Hobbs' friend, says that he picked him up like immediately and they went straight to the woods and looking for these kids. And his friend later on is like, "I think he fucking did that for an alibi, dude." And like he started recording the phone calls and the guy was being super weird and trying to be like, right. I didn't do it, right? You were with me in the woods, right? Like it's really weird the way he's talking to his friend. And then his friend breaks down and cries and he's like, "It's gotten to the point to where I would give my fucking life to know the truth. I want to know who killed these fucking kids." And he's just breaking down in his garage getting interviewed. And he's like, he starts crying. He's like, "I used to be that kid." He's like, "I'd hang out with my fucking friend Terry and I see little fucking Stevie flicking marbles at the wall. And God damn it, Stevie, I'm going to bust your ass, quit." And my friend's being a fucking asshole to his stepkid. And he'd fucking, and like I saw he was just about ready to crack him one. And he's like, I got down on the floor with it. And I'm like, Stevie, let me show you how I played marbles when I was a kid. And he's like, and I played marbles with that kid because I used to be that fucking kid that got his ass beat, you know? But he seems like a good man. But so those are like some of the suspects. But I don't know. That's just the story. And anyway, they were fucking found guilty. They did 18 years in prison. Damien Echols on death fucking row, by the way. Death row was no joke. He's had all of his teeth broken, his jaw broken. He's gotten the shit beat out of him. To this day, he has to wear sunglasses constantly because he didn't see sunlight for 18 years. So if he steps outside, he's fucking blinded. And he can't see worth the fuck. He's basically blind because we don't realize this, but our brain constantly teaches us how to do shit. Like your eyes, how to see far away, for example. So when you can only see 2 feet in front of you, a white wall for 18 years, guess what your fucking eyes see when you get out of that room? Only fucking 2 feet in front of you. Like,
yeah, it's kind of like it's like leaving a TV on one fucking scene and then turning it off and it's still on the fucking screen. You ever seen that shit?
Those few seconds. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot like that. It's exactly like that, Audie. This man's eyeballs is just like your TV, you fucking cocksucker.
It's like the TV, you know?
Yeah, right. No, I fucking get it. But Damien Echols would be like, fuck you and that TV. I can't fucking see my girlfriend's titties. That's bullshit. You know? But so fucking 18 years go by, and meanwhile, all these celebrities are getting down on this shit. Henry fucking Rollins, Johnny Depp, and Damien Echols are like really good friends now. They got like several matching tattoos. Fucking Peter goddamn Jackson donated like $20 million to the fucking cause. And I think, and like Henry Rollins made an album where all the fucking profits went to their attorneys, and like Ice-T was on it, Hank Williams III was on it. They did fucking concerts, all kind. Fucking Eddie Vedder, that fucking piece of shit. I hate him because he fucking sucks at singing, but he's a good man. He's a good man. Terrible singer.
Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck that good guy. He was super heavily involved, and like when he would like win awards, he would talk about the West Memphis 3 instead of thanking the people for the award and shit. But I think at first they're like, free the Memphis 3, free the Memphis 3, and then like 18 years later they're like, fuck, like any day now, man. They're like, god damn it, if I knew these guys were gonna be in jail for 20 fucking years, I'd have jumped ship right away. But you gotta stick with it. You already went public. You know what I mean? You can't be like, man, I guess they fucking did that shit. You know? What are you gonna fucking do? So fucking, I don't know. It's crazy. But what's fucking bullshit is all right, so they got let out. They're free to this day.
Yeah.
And what happened was the state of Arkansas basically made it to where this murder will never, ever get solved because they realized they fucked up. They just wanted the case to be over in a matter of days for the murders of these 3 boys. So they arrested these other 3 boys. They were children, and they fucking... God damn it, my fucking brain is just going everywhere because there's so much fucking info I know, and I'm trying to fucking drop it all on you. What the fuck was I talking about?
You were saying...
and the fucking guy who was like the prosecuting attorney was like trying to be a senator or some shit, or he was trying to move his way up in politics. So if he fucking solved this murder, he was going to be the shit. You know what I mean? He was well on his way to his fucking political career, you know? So there was a lot of bullshit involved. And anyway, the Arkansas was like, all right, we fucked up. We better let these boys out. But I forgot what the fucking plea is called. See if you can Google for me, like, what plea did the West Memphis 3 take? Appeals, new evidence.
I thought I wrote it down on here, but
I apologize. I don't know what it's called, but anyway, what they fucking did, Alfred plea.
Yeah, Alfred. Yep.
So they
Heard about
entered into an Alfred plea, which is extremely unusual. And what this means is they pled guilty, but they were let free. So they stood up in a court and they're like, I did not do this murder, but my attorney advises me to say that I'm guilty so I can go home today. That's basically what these three kids said. And they're like, look, I didn't fucking do this shit. I've been in prison for 18 years for something I didn't fucking do. I'm going to say that I'm guilty only so you motherfuckers let me out. That's what an Alfred plea is. So they all have murder on their record and they're convicted murderers, and being that the case is solved because they're the ones who did it. So now Arkansas has zero reason to look for who really killed those kids. And I 100% think they're innocent. I don't think that the three teenagers killed those boys at all. Not even a little tiny piece of me. 0% thinks that they did it. I 100% think that they are innocent. And
well, after listening to some of that, I watched the one-sided fucking thing.
Right.
And that's on that's on me. You know, I was under the impression they did it, but since you've explained this to me, I'm like, holy shit.
Right.
Wow.
I'm glad that you saw the other side, because now, like, why don't you tell your story? Like, what made you think they did it?
Well, what I watched and researched, they everything you exactly said. They pinned the whole satanic shit. They were riding that fucking coattail like it was. And and you know, it's the fucking 90s. That was the satanic panic.
Yeah.
You know, they rode that shit in that documentary. They were like, oh, he would, and then, you know, they'd interview like school teachers. Yeah, Damon, he'd come to school and just talk about won't fucking kill animals and worship Satan, you know, all this shit like that. And then they interviewed, was it Jeese Jr.?
Jeese Misskelly Jr. Yep.
Yeah, the mentally IQ of like 72.
Yeah, which is like fucking
like
insanely
stupid.
low.
They harped on him on just how easily he would fucking, I saw him do it, you know, and all this shit. It was just like, man, you know, and I played that in the factor when watching that documentary. I was like, wow, this dude's really fucking stupid.
Right.
You know, and even the dad, they interviewed the dad doing phone calls with his son, and his dad was just like, just be calm in there, boy. You know, I'm talking like that. I'm talking like that because that's what they talk. Just be good in there, boy. Don't be punching toilet seats. Because he fucked his knuckles up by punching walls and toilets and shit, and they were all laughing. I'm just like,
dude,
Jeese, fuck, man.
Jeese sat there the whole time thinking his dad would just come pick him up when he got around to it. Like, that's how dumb he was.
Yeah, he kept saying that. It's like, when you gonna come get me, Dad? When you gonna come get me?
Dude, you gotta. Ben says, I think Guar did it. This fucking guy. That's great. That should be a fucking t-shirt. Guar killed the fucking. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, like he had no fucking clue what was going on. He didn't know what a lawyer was.
Yeah, just what that was spoon feeding me. Yeah, it definitely. I'm like, man, it all makes sense now. Like, this whole town is fucking idiots. Even the well, I say the victim, Pam Hobbs, dude, that's sketch, bro.
To this day, I don't think so at all, because even to this day, she thinks her husband at the time, they're not married anymore, but even to this day, she thinks her husband did it. Like, all the parents came forward and they're like, we're so sorry to the West Memphis 3 for fucking going after them. But like, everyone was like, they did it. So we're like, yeah, it was them fuckers. And all the parents came, they're all friends now. They're all on good terms. And, Damien Echols, you know, the fucking crazy guy in the woods that you showed footage of?
Yeah.
Damien Echols told everybody that's the guy who fucking killed them all. And then even Damien apologized after he got out of prison. He's like, I did to you what the news did to me. I'm sorry. Like, everybody's all like, I'm sorry. This was so fucked up. This time, like, we need to police our trailer parks. Like there should be one fucking guy. Like, like let all the idiots live in the trailer park. That's fine. But there should be at least one dude that's like, hey, knock that shit off. There should be one cop that knows what's going on. Get one city cop in there to be like, God damn it.
Instead of like neighborhood watch.
That horse,
The neighborhood watch, the trailer park watch.
Exactly. Yes. We need
Call this number when you spot something suspicious, and this doesn't mean Doris on her back porch smoking Marlboro, fucking throwing her trash out.
Yeah, we need like they got FBI. We need like a TPA, like the trailer park agency. Like
TPA.
Yeah, dude. Fucking, we need somebody to police these goddamn trailer parks because I've done some terrible things in trailer parks.
Oh,
let me tell you,
too, man.
Most of the shitty stories that I have to tell about my adolescence is I was at my fucking homeboy's house. He lived in a trailer park, but anyway, and then like that's how most of my shitty stories.
I lost my virginity in the field on the outskirts of a trailer park.
That is romantic as fuck.
And mosquitoes, dude. Like my whole ass was ate up with mosquitoes.
Oh my God.
Well worth it. I was getting mines for sure.
Lost my virginity, but I found West Nile.
Yeah. I lost my that's a new song. I lost my virginity in a trailer park.
Yeah, dude. That's something that sounds like something Hank Williams III would fucking sing. That sounds great. Speaking of mosquitoes, like you gotta read Damien Echols' book while he's in prison. Because, like, there's a story in there where he talks about the mosquitoes on death row were so bad. And, like, they would breed in the toilets of the empty cells. And he said he would scream and cry in agony because there was nothing he could do to not get bit. And he said that there was blood on his walls from slapping them. And because they were so thick on the walls. And when he would just try to kill as many as he could, and there's just blood all over his walls. Another thing he said in prison, this fucking really bugged me. I don't know if it was the guy in his cell before him or a few guys before him, but there was like a pencil drawing, an outline of a human body where this guy traced himself on the wall. It's death row. That guy's dead. He got executed. And Damien was like, I stared at that fucking drawing like every day and I couldn't erase it because that's like the last existing thing of this person. And like, that's going to be me. Like, I'm going to get killed by the state too. And he would just stare at that fucking drawing. And he had some fun on death row. Like he watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 a lot. And like, that was his favorite fucking movie because it was on TV all the time. And somehow we got to watch it on death row a lot. There was this guy they nicknamed Butterfly a few cells down because the rumor was he had butterfly wings tattooed on his butt cheeks, and if he wiggled them, it looked like they were flying. But he said they could like pass notes to each other by like writing notes, putting them in like a glove or something to waterproof them. And then like if the two dudes like tie them to a string, one guy in one cell, one guy in the other, flush them down the toilet at the same time, they would get fucking tangled up. And then the one guy let go of his string and then the other guy pulled it out. And like, that's how, like, who figures this shit out?
Yeah, it's weird, man.
I made a lighter in rehab. Did I ever tell you this story? Okay. This is fucking awesome. So we could smoke cigarettes in rehab, but it had to be outside and it was only like 3 times a day. And you couldn't like chain smoke. Like they'd watch you like, all right, there's your cigarette break. You got one goddamn cigarette. It sucked, dude. But because you're trying to quit, like I'm trying to quit bath salt and coke and fucking shrooms and beer and shit. You can't make me quit cigarettes too. Come on, man. I'm losing my fucking mind over here. So, and I'm not getting ass or nothing, So what I did is I had a fucking notebook, like a spiral notebook with the fucking metal spiral. I took my pen and I put it in there and spun it until it broke. And I took the fucking wiring and I made a fucking horseshoe shape. And in the middle of the horseshoe shape, I twisted it, wrapped it in a bunch of toilet paper, and I stuck it in a fucking pen cap. The reason why I wrapped it in toilet paper is because if I put it in the pen cap, it would slip out. The toilet paper made it big enough to sit down in the pen cap and fit. Then the reason why I used the pen cap is so I wouldn't get fucking electrocuted. Then I would take more toilet paper, like one fucking sheet of toilet paper, and I would hold it up by the fucking outlet, and I would take those two prongs and I'd jam it in the outlet, and it'd fucking spark. And when the sparks landed on the toilet paper went up. I'd light my cigarette. I'd fucking chief down the fucking cigarette as fast as I could, throw it in the toilet, and then I'd take my baby powder and go squeeze it up in the air and fucking make it fucking smell good. I wanted a cigarette so bad. I was like, I might die doing this, but I'm like, I think this is gonna work. And it fucking worked, man.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, if you take my shit away, I'm gonna fucking figure something out. That's the prison system for you, you know?
Yeah,
It's
man.
fucking crazy. But dude, you're not much of a reader, right? Like,
It's hard for me to read, dude.
me
Like
too. I was gonna say, like,
I
read is
think I
good,
low
but
key have fucking ADHD. Like I just can't focus, dude. Like if I read something, I'm like I done forgot what I just read.
yep. Yeah, you
And
probably
like
got
as I'm
ADD or
reading,
something.
like I'm thinking of other shit. I'm just
Yep.
reading just to read. I think I
Yeah,
need to take medicine for it.
you totally should. You'll have lots of energy. And it suppresses your hunger. So,
Yeah, isn't it Adderall?
well, it's really hard to get you. Well, you might get Adderall, government boy.
Dude,
You're
nah.
a cop. They won't give it to me. I got a face tattoo.
They won't fucking give that shit to me. They threaten to fucking discharge me if I get on that shit.
Oh, really? Well, fucking Bam Margera wasn't allowed to be in Jackass because of fucking Adderall, assholes. He's been
Mhm.
taking that shit for like 20 years, he said.
Yeah.
Just watch the this is the greatest documentary in my opinion about the West Memphis 3. But you got HBO Max, right? So just
Yeah.
watch fucking Paradise Lost. And then if you're interested, watch all three of them. If not, I can mail you this, watch it and just mail it back. Because it's really fucking interesting. I love this case. I really, really obviously wish those three boys didn't die. But the reason why I'm so close to this case is because that could have been me, you know, except I didn't
Yeah.
live in the trailer park. But there's not much else I could say.
Yeah, I definitely came into this conversation with those three fucking doing that shit, but just after what you just told me, dude, and then seeing that fucking mom, again watching her, just the way her demeanor is, I don't know, she knew something, man.
It's easy to
Anybody, but
easy to
anybody to
say
say
that.
that, but anybody to say it ain't my fault, like what, like when my
Well,
kids
didn't
tell me a lie.
the guy asked her if she felt guilty though, right? So she had to answer it, and she's like, "No, it ain't my fault.
Oh,
I
I
didn't fucking
know,
kill him,"
but
you know?
just the way she was acting, and normally when a kid gets in trouble, or an even adult, and you don't even ask them the situation, but they'll go ahead and tell you, it ain't my fault. Well, I didn't blame you. Oh,
Yeah, but, I mean,
you know what I mean? It's
she
like,
was set up with that question though. Like, do you feel guilty? Like that your
yeah,
son's dead,
I
you know?
get it.
'Cause
I just
every parent
she
does, I
was
bet.
fucking cuckoo, man.
Well, totally. Her son just got murdered, Audie. Fuck!
Uh,
Have some fucking sympathy, man.
no. I would. You don't go on fucking TV and be like, "Oh, look at my son. It's his Boy Scout." Fucking
She's
no.
heartbroken. She's devastated. Her only baby got taken away. I
Yeah,
don't know, dude.
by her
I'd probably
husband.
eat a bullet if one of my kids died. I'd be like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Oh, I'm going. No, I'm gonna kill whoever hurt my kids, and then we'll think
Oh yeah,
about the other
in
thing
that
later.
situation, of course. But no, if one of my kids died, you got to live to go on for the other one. But like, it's just if that's your only kid, I can't believe this woman's still alive. Like my
Yeah.
mom, dude, my brother died and my sister died. I'm like, my mom's like the strongest like she goes on every day. I know it's gotta fuck her up, but she don't go on TV and she's like, dee, 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 like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah,
I get
right?
what you're
Like,
saying.
yeah, I don't know.
Um,
And back to that again, it's different times, I guess.
well,
Fuck.
yeah, I guess. But like one time too, like an example I could think of is one of my friends died in a car accident. She was really young. She had like 4 fucking kids. And me and a bunch of other local musicians did a benefit concert for her, and her mom was there. And her mom wasn't like drinking, like woohoo, having a good time. Her mom was just there, like in the bar, hanging out, like just to represent her daughter while we fucking do this concert and fucking do silent auctions and raffles and all this shit. And I remember the owner of the bar came up to me and she was like, "Can you believe that she's just sitting there like that?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "If my daughter died, I'd be a complete wreck. I'd be crying." And I'm like, "Well, I'm sure she does that at home by herself. She's got to be strong right now. This is a benefit for her daughter. Like, don't judge her. What the fuck?"
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
I
like,
get it.
I bet my mom is fucking up out at night, like, God damn it. You know, like if I, only did this instead of that, or like, would all this be different? But yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think, I don't know. I think she was pumped full of fucking medication because any
Yeah.
doctor's going to be like, your son just died, man. You need to take this shit. This shit will make you fucking happy. This will make you feel good. And she was probably high as a fucking kite on pills.
No,
I
I
don't
get it.
know. Maybe
I don't
not.
know. I don't know.
Right. We don't know. That's the thing. Yeah, that's the bottom
Yeah,
line.
I don't want to sit
Don't.
here and just to making assumptions. But again, going back to all the evidence, a gentleman with blood on him, cops didn't do shit. They found the hair. Uh, it all makes sense. I mean, I would say those three boys didn't do it. Just for the simple fact that that one-sided documentary fucked me up.
Right.
So
Um, no, I actually would like to see. I wish I read from Wikipedia more because I'm looking at Wikipedia now and I'm like, man, I should have fucking just read this shit. But I don't want to be that guy. Anybody can read Wikipedia. There are so many fucking podcasts out there where they just read Wikipedia.
yeah.
And like, why? She can hear someone's fucking voice. Like there are bad podcasts out there. And like, I mean, I'm sure there's people out there who think that we're bad. And to those people I say nay and fuck you. So, oh, did I tell you about the fucking knife incident too? They think that they found this fucking knife that did it. That was the murder weapon. And what it was is it was Jason Baldwin's knife that his mom threw in the river a year before the murders because his mom told the detective because they were asking her like, does Jason own any knives or anything? And she's like, no, but I caught him with a fucking combat knife a year ago and I took it from him and I threw it in the goddamn river. And they're like, oh, okay. They got newspapers and everybody to come out to this site, got a professional diver. In 30 minutes, the diver found that knife. When he reached the surface holding the knife in the air, bam, they took a picture, put it on the front page news. This knife was thrown in the river a fucking year ago, but they didn't say that in the newspaper. They said they found the fucking murder weapon. Like,
Man,
how fucked is that, dude?
Arkansas is fucking up.
We could talk about. Do you want to end this or do you want to go?
I don't
We've
care, man. Whatever you
we've,
want to do.
we've done it for an hour and a half. Let's read a little bit of this. So, some new physical evidence as of 2007. In 2007, DNA collected from the crime scene was tested. None was found to match DNA from Echols, Baldwin, or Misskelly, the three people who were charged with the murder. A hair not consistent with Stevie Branch's stepfather, Terry Hobbs, was found tied into the knots used to bind one of the victims. The prosecutors, while conceding that no DNA evidence tied the accused to the crime scene, said that the state stands behind its convictions of Echols and his confidants. Pamela Hobbs, May 5th, 2009, declared in the United States District Court, Eastern District of Arkansas, indicates that one hair was consistent with the hair of Terry's friend, David Jacoby. That's the guy that he had walking around with him. So, like, damn, does that say that his friend helped him? You know, like it, but again, it's like that guy was over there. That to me says cross-contamination. Like, you guys are hanging out all the time at Terry's house, and then the little boys are over there. There's going to be a hair of his stepdad. I bet you right now, if we looked at your shoelaces, there'd be one of your daughter's hairs in it, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
Because redheads leave hair every fucking
Oh,
where.
dude, my truck is fucking fuck, man. I roll the windows down and hairs just go, and I'm all like,
God damn it. There's I don't know. There's so much evidence out there. Just fucking if you feel like you didn't get enough West Memphis 3, tell us and we will do a part 2. That's what we'll do. Let's do that. And because we're gonna hop on the Patreon right now because we got to give bonus content for our people who donate to us, who we love so very much. They pay to keep our lights on and our cameras working and our microphones plugged in. We truly appreciate our Patreons and our producers, Ben Newman and Bryce Duvall. Thank you guys so much. If you're in Wisconsin, go to Sloopy's Bar, hail the Jim Morrison bust, and drink some fucking.
And Ryan, you can't forget about Ryan.
Ryan Merriman, he is a producer. He's been with us since day one. Let me pull up our fucking patrons here. I apologize. Do you have a list? No.
Sandra.
Let's see.
Chandra
Daler, Brent, Tara Myers, Paul Tonkovic, John Bailey, and Andrea motherfucking Stevenson. I'm pretty sure that's not her real middle name, but it should be because she is radical and we love her so much because she has also been with us since day fucking one. Yeah, so if you want, man, hit us up and we'll do a part 2 and I'll dive deeper into the courts and the evidence and all the aftermath. We can and I'll dive deeper into the Damien Echols life in prison. This book is fucking amazing, bro. I wish
I would read.
I wish you were more of a reader. Dude,
hey, just read it to me. Let's just do a podcast and you just read the whole goddamn book.
Dude, they're Last Podcast on the Left does that for their Patreon. One of their hosts reads the Bible for 30 minutes. That's just one of the Patreon benefits.
Who's that? Andy Kaufman. Straight up Andy Kaufman this fucking episode. We'll do an episode. You just sit there and read a whole fucking book. You know Andy Kaufman, right?
Yeah. Jim Carrey's twin brother.
Yeah, Man on the Moon.
Yeah, SNL.
Andy Kaufman actually read this sold out fucking arena, sits down and reads this fucking book for hours.
What an asshole. And I bet people were laughing their ass off just because they're like, all right, any minute now.
Yeah, the first 30 minutes, they were all like, ah, ha, ha. And then it's like, really?
Right. Oh, I would have fucking killed him. I'd have rushed the stage and murdered that man.
I liked Andy Kaufman. I thought he was very unique.
I don't know that you're saying this. What's your birthday, Audie?
84?
No, day.
24th.
Of what?
February.
All right, let's see. What I have some journal entries from Damien Echols. Just for shits and giggles, let's look and see if he wrote anything on your birthday. Sure didn't. Audie's birthday sucks. Fuck you, Damien. How dare you?
How dare you miss my birthday?
Yeah, I looked and it's not in there. Well, fuck them. Excuse me. Yeah, dude. Let us know. Part 2. Are you down to do a part 2?
Yeah.
And it'll be like a 45 minutes or something. I'll dive deeper into all the assholes that lied because there's several of them. We'll dive in. We already covered the crime and the victims, but we'll get into the suspects because there's plenty of those. We'll get more into the court cases, the trials, the aftermath, the appeals, and the new evidence. We can go farther into the misconduct and the request for retrial, the Supreme Court ruling, the plea deal, the fucking law enforcement and family opinions. That's a whole fucking segment we can do. Let's do it. Let's do a part 2. You want to do next week? Part 2?
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do a part 2.
Fuck it. We're going to hop out of here. Please donate to our Patreon. What is it? Don't Blame Us, or it's patreon.com/Don't Blame Us.
Yeah, something like that.
Is that what it is? Well, we got to fucking tell them exactly what it is. We're so good at this.
It's been so long. Hang on, I'll pull it up.
Patreon.com/Don't Blame Us. Yeah, that's it. And $5 a month is all we ask. Is there an option to do $1 a month?
I don't think he'll let you go that low.
Good, because we don't want $1 a month. We want $5 goddamn dollars a month. We do bonus episodes, all kinds of behind the scenes funny stuff. Us getting drunk and playing games, and we also take your opinions on who you want us to talk about, what you want us to do, whose dick do you think is bigger? There's a poll. Go vote now. Or Spike, because his dick is bigger than both of ours. You've seen my dog's dick, right?
Yeah.
It's a fucking whopper.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here. I love you, buddy. I've missed you.
Yep, I missed you. I'll see you in a little bit.
Later, dude.
Let me find this outro.
Yeah, how do I do this?
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
You ready?
Oh, you got to do it.
Thank you for tuning in to our little Passion Project podcast. Remember, we go live every single Friday night, same damn time, same damn channel. So if you miss it, don't blame us.